Star Wars is now 40 years old.
I find 99 objects that do 99...
But a bitch ain't one.
Welcome to Fat Man Batman. I'm Kevin Smith.
I'm Mark Bernard.
Okay, so Star Trek Discovery is happening, whether you want it to or not.
What is the sonic power Black Canary uses called in the comic book?
Canary cry?
Correct!
Yes, this episode of the Quit Stalling Geekcast is brought to you by Jinx.com. To get 10% off of your entire shopping cart, use the promo code QuitStalling_366 at checkout on Jinx.com. If you want some Blizzard swag to get you hyped, if you still have a friend that's way too into Halo and just won't let it go, you know, he's like, you gotta be red or blue, man, you gotta be red or blue. Or if the Quit Stalling first Fireside Gathering is getting you hyped as well. Brave the storm and any other weather conditions in Jinx.com's wide variety of gamer and geek swag. And when you do, use the promo code QuitStalling_366 at checkout. You get 10% off of all that gamer and geek swag. Use the promo code QuitStalling_366 at checkout. And that's 10% off of all that swag. All of it. All of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Quit Stalling Geekcast, where we talk about all things geek, whether it be comic books, TV, movie, comic book TV, and comic book movies. That is us. That's what we talk about. And other geeky things like tech and I don't know, whatever else we've been up to during the week. This is the weekly show that travels in time and makes sure we don't sleep with, you know, our horny parents, you know, because, you know, that was a different time for them, and you would understand, right? We've been there. Marty McFly has. All right. And, of course, I'm your host. I am Herald Silvestre. Yes, that is my real name. You can check me out at Herald Plays anywhere on the internet. Anywhere. And I mean anywhere. Like, jeez. With me today, I've got a geek with me, my consistent co-host, my ever-dependable Snorlax, I guess is what he's been called in certain venues. And he's making his 25th appearance, holding his laugh in as much as he can before he gets introduced. So professional. No relation to Zoe. It's the man, the myth, the healer main. It's Juancho Saldana. How you doing, Juancho?
What's up, man? I tried. That was a very weird intro, by the way. I was like, where are you going with this horny parents thing? I'm like, what the hell is this? I was like, oh, okay, he's making a freaking Back to the Future reference. Like, where did that come from? There was no Back to the Future news at all this week.
Did
you
watched Back to the Future.
Watch it?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then. And then you proceed to call me Snorlax. Quite the jump there. Are you opposed to it? What?
Are you opposed to it? Like, I know.
No, it's fine.
Sandy
called
you that. Okay.
It's just weird jump from horny parents, then Pokemon, and you're trying to put things together. But yeah, what's up, guys? Juancho here. I wouldn't say consistent too. I take breaks every now and then.
That's for your own sanity, if anything else.
Well, if I could help it, I wouldn't take a break. But you know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You gotta move when you gotta move, is what Juancho's saying. So, welcome everyone. We got a lot to talk about today, and of course we already have our usual bot spammers in on Facebook. When I posted about the show, I just got Black Panther full video. Watch now.
Well, are they there? Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Every time I tag like a Marvel movie, I get that, so it's ridiculous.
I wonder how you do that. Everyone. We should have that. Like whenever someone posts about something, you're like, "Oh, check this out! Quit stalling."
That's how we ensure no one ever finds us on the internet. Is bot spamming. Oh my god. Yeah, Francis was there on Sunday. So, real quick, I want to start off with me for once because I never get to do this.
All right, go ahead.
Juancho, man, I guested on a podcast that wasn't our own.
So you cheated on us, basically.
I cheated on us. This week it was.
I don't know how to feel about that. Just, so you're telling me you talked and someone else was on the other side of the screen? That wasn't me.
I'm so
Thank you.
sorry.
Damn.
I'm so sorry.
It's alright. Just tell us all about it anyway. I know it hurts. But go. Just do your thing.
So I was on a show by Ink Geek Studios. It's called Mind of a Geek, and I was there with the guys Nate Ward and Brandon Raymond. They were great. They were awesome people. I'm gonna throw up a clip in a second. But yeah, it was super fun. I had so much fun with them, and apparently they loved me too. So that can't be all bad, right? Like that must mean that more than you guys are forced to like me because you're on my show. Like we're on the same show together. So I always have that fear, Juancho, that you guys are only forced to be here. So
oh no, yeah, I guess.
I guess.
Well, you don't have to worry. I mean, if we didn't want to be here, we just wouldn't be here. It's not like you pay us or anything, right?
That's true. The labor union might be listening. Yeah, so it was a great show. I encourage you guys to check it out. That's Mind of a Geek for those of you listening to the audio only. It's by Ink Geek Studios. You can find my episode on the podcast feeds, or if you can check out our Facebook, it's the links are there as well. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitch. They're great guys. They're super awesome guys, and I had so much fun getting to talk about Quit Stalling, getting to talk about myself instead of focusing about the guests. It really fed my vanity. Yeah, it fed my ego quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it.
It looked hella fun.
It was awesome. Lot of R-rated stuff on that show. So yeah, check it out. Mind of a Geek. Featuring Herald Silvestre. I'm still not used to saying my own name. Herald Silvestre. Yeah, so there was that. We did announce the fireside our first ever Quit Stalling fireside gathering as well. So that's happening, and yeah, watched Back to the Future and did a lot of other stuff this week that I'm trying to catch up on. So I'll think of it as we're going along. But Juancho, man, what have you been up to since the last time we had a show?
Nothing much, but I guess the biggest thing was it was recently my son's birthday. It was
Woo!
yesterday, or 2 days for you guys.
Woo!
Yeah, so I tried to do the entire, you know how like when someone says, "Oh, I'll go to the party. I'll be there through Skype." I actually did that.
Yes.
So like my family was carrying a phone around, like, you know, the screen face up. They're like, God, here's the
bank?
party, and then no, just the phone, I was like, I wish they brought the iPad, you know, so they'd actually carry the iPad.
Okay.
Like, have you ever watched that one episode of Modern Family where Phil like just walks around, like it's just an iPad on a, what do you call those? The hoverboard thing. He straps it on there and he walks around like that. I'm like, I wish I could do that, because I was at the mercy of whoever was holding me.
That's genius, though.
And then like whenever like they turned me around and I'd see guests, I'd like try to say hi, but the phone speaker isn't loud enough. And I just got very dizzy. But
yeah, and the way
That's
that
important.
works, right, is because if the person on the other end is talking louder than you, sometimes you don't get, like, your voice is muted because they're trying to the program is trying to clear up the comms. So that must have been hard.
I mean, the other end was like a party, you know, there's music and people were talking, versus the tiny itty bitty phone speaker. So
Yeah.
a lesson learned. Next time they have to bring a Bluetooth speaker. So
Or have you on a TV at the same time, like, so.
oh, that'd be weird.
Oh,
I'd be looming over the party.
Hey Janet, don't forget to finish your food. Pick up the plates.
Like be on a projector and just go all Zordon.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Ranger. I wore my Zordon shirt on Mind of a Geek, but enough about me again. So, what have you been up to yourself there? Like, what have you been doing?
Honestly, just still been applying, I guess, for jobs. went to the DMV, went
Oh, nice.
to the Social Security, like boring responsibility stuff. So let's not talk about that.
So you just went there for fun. You're just like, hey, DMV.
Yeah, and just hung out there,
And they were just
Cool
like,
people there,
Juancho. It's like cheers.
Like, there's like the line for people who bought cars, and then there's the line for the people who are trying to repeal traffic tickets. So it's like, it's cool people.
Cool. Yeah. It's your kind of crowd.
Oh, I started going to board game meetups here too, so there's that too. Trying to make.
How's that been going?
Yeah, it was fun. I actually played like pretty intense board games I haven't played in forever. So there was also a convention I was supposed to go to, but I ended up not going.
Oh. So you talk about the board games. So friendships were made and then immediately broken. All in the
Oh
span
no,
of-
yeah, it was like pretty intense board game. Like these are people I met for the first time, but then he was like, "Oh, I'm like really good at this board game," I was like, "Okay, I gotta beat him now."
So, does it make it easier to beat them since you've just met them? Like, is no emotional attachment yet?
I don't know. I like to beat people I know too. It's actually more fun to humiliate people you know.
So, someone clip that part out. I like to beat people I know. Someone clip that out. Oh, you horrible human being. All right. Your face froze, but in a really good position. I'm just gonna focus on it for a bit. Yeah. So you got a lot to talk about. Huge shout out to Francis, who's already in the chat as always. He's eating lunch late for us, and we can't thank him enough for doing that. Ojas Green Pants in the chat says I'm clipping that late, and Ojas, you can put that on a soundboard so whenever we play Overwatch together, we can just go, oh yeah, I like to beat people I know.
I mean, isn't it always the people you love the most that you just love hurting?
Oh man,
That's why you make fun of your friends. That's how I care about Rafa so much. He's like
you're
the butt
not
of
as
all
afraid
my
of the
jokes.
consequences. Oh, he is the butt of all your jokes, isn't he? Poor Rafa. Poor Rafa. Oh man.
And thanks Francis for greeting Aiden.
Yeah, man. One day I will meet Aiden, and who knows? One day I might be there for his confirmation as his Nino. If we can get close enough. If I meet that kid and we hit it off, man, who knows? Who knows what can happen?
I know, it sucks that I had to move here just as I started doing the show,
Yeah. And you guys were in like Pampanga and everything, so it wasn't the easiest thing to. It wasn't the easiest thing to get to meet your child. I was gonna say your children, your child. Oh man.
But yeah. Okay. Talking about my family is getting me sad because I'm.
Oh.
So
All right,
let's
talk
get
about
the show started,
your other family, the Star Wars Rebels. Now, well, we do have a lot to talk about, so we'll get to that in a second. But I wanted to bring up that we have another guest on GameBite this week. Actually, I'll do that during the ad part of the show. Anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
No. I'm
right,
good.
shout out to,
Let's get going.
All right, awesome. Shout out to Ojos, Francis in the chat, and anyone else message us aside from these awesome people. Just want to be sure I give out shout out to
Nightbot. 10.
Oh, hey Nightbot, how you doing? And Quit Stalling over in the chat. And if he's still listening to the show, Adrian Latipi, hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. We will be spoiling a lot of stuff today, so tune out. Tune out now.
Yeah, we will. We will be.
Oh gosh. All right, let's do this. Where's my soundboard? All right, here we go. Lowering the volume, and it's time for the news.
Yes, I see. Good news, everyone!
It's the news, and it's brought to us by GameBite, where this week we've got the Emperor of the Game Developers Association of the Philippines, Alvin Huban, coming on to talk about, they're talking about GDAP, the Game Developers Association of the Philippines, at Comic-Con Asia 2018. So we got that lined up on GameBite Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. I'm going to say 5:30 a.m. California time. Let me look that up again. I got so confused because Mind of a Geek was in Eastern time, was in Boston time, so I'm a little confused right now. Where is that? It is. God dang it.
It's probably 6:30. 6:30
Yeah,
a.m.
6:30. Thank you. 6:30. Yes.
Yeah.
Daylight savings. All right. So.
Oh wait, no. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I hope it is. I hope it is. So, let's see here. I've got all the wrong things queued up, but that's fine. All right, here we go. Let me mute that. All right, man. Juancho, we got the first trailer for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them's sequel. The first of many in the line of Fantastical Beasts movies.
Shouldn't this be the second to the last? I'm not sure. Aren't they doing a trilogy on it?
Is it a trilogy? I thought they were doing like a bunch.
There's like I guess they could. I mean, they're not basing it on like books anymore. I guess because technically, Fantastic Beasts was like just one book.
Rurutu over in the chat says it's 5 movies. Thank you, Rurutu.
Wow,
so
5 movies?
Yeah.
Because, what's up, Rurutu? Thanks for that.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So, I guess it's until Eddie Redmayne gets super sick of this and becomes a diva, which, I mean, he doesn't seem like the type, but who knows?
So yeah, but the trailer dropped. I actually didn't see it coming. I didn't know the trailer was dropping anytime soon. I mean, in this day and age when there's teasers for trailers that you're gonna see soon, it surprised me.
Yeah. The Crimes of Grindelwald surprised me as well. This is interesting because this is gonna be the first movie that we get full on Johnny Depp and not Colin Farrell disguised Johnny Depp. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. When I saw the reveal at the end of the first one, I was really disappointed because I was like, Colin Farrell kind of pulled this off pretty well, and Johnny Depp is not showing much range nowadays with his acting.
I mean, he's playing a crazy evil wizard, and Johnny Depp looks like a crazy evil wizard.
He pretty much is just crazy in general.
He plays crazy really well. Like, when you think of a crazy actor, you think of Johnny Depp.
That's true. And it would be nice for them to show more of the universe. Like with Star Wars, it never hurts to build more of the world than has been given to us, especially the movies, because your imagination takes you so far. And, part of being a human is wanting to visualize these things. And movies are a good way of doing that.
I mean, showing really fantastic beasts and where to find them is a good way of building a universe. I mean, like, did you see the crazy things you could find in the...
Well, the first movie showed us that they're all pretty much in his suitcase, right? So, geez, like that.
I mean, there was like the seaweed dragon, dude. Did you see that seaweed dragon?
Yeah, in the trailer.
Yeah, but I as a Harry Potter fan, I think world building, that's fine and all, but the most important thing about this movie is that we're going back to Hogwarts.
Oh, yes.
That's what people are excited for. It's not, and seeing 1920s America or Paris, whatever, with magic is cool. But then at the end of the day, what we're excited for is seeing the castle again and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And you know what? 60 years did a number on Dumbledore.
Dude, that's like, I wanted to talk about that actually. Like, if you see him, like, you see what he's wearing in the movie. Yeah. He looks really, really good. Like, he's fashionable and all that in 1920s attire. You have to think, like, what happened in like 70 years, give or take?
He gave up.
He went from like really, because he was wearing like the attire of the time. He's wearing a tie. What do you call that? The suit thing.
The 3-piece suit.
Long sleeves and all that. Yeah, 3-piece suit. And then he, like, 70 years later, he's wearing a pointy hat and robes in school. It changes to that. I'm like, I mean, why doesn't he wear 90s stuff then during the 90s?
When you're like 100 years old, you don't really care anymore. Like, you're just like, Harry, I'm not wearing any underwear, Harry. And then he just goes, and then becomes a phoenix.
Just saying, he let himself go because, dang, he looks He's like snappy as hell in the trailer. But
Yeah.
as a fan though, there's this one really big gripe I have with the trailer. Like there's this whole Twitter outlash about it. In case you didn't notice it, at the start of the trailer, the Minister of Magic and 2 other people, I guess, from the Ministry, I mean, they apparate into Hogwarts when you teleport somewhere. And one of the biggest things, like one of the biggest plot lines in the original books is you can't teleport into the school.
Oh, wow.
So people are saying, like, how do they teleport? I mean, like, the entire kill Dumbledore plan, if you remember that in the original movies, it was really important to get the Death Eaters into the Hogwarts, and it was really, really hard because you can't just teleport in there. So Draco had to, like, work this cabinet thing. So it was, like, just a big plot line, and then suddenly in this movie, they can just go in.
So, yeah.
Just because I'm a huge fan of Harry Potter, so it was just a Twitter thing, and people are complaining a hell of a lot about it.
Well, someone needs to, like, I know J.K. Rowling is doing her best with keeping things in line in terms of canon and timeline. It's not easy, so she needs consultants.
J.K. Rowling is there doing a terrible job of doing that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she's not there every day though, because at this point she's Dumbledore,
No.
right? She's seen enough. She's done enough. She's like, I'm just gonna wear robes and a pointy hat. Like, I was.
No, I'm talking about how J.K. Rowling recently, she's just so active in, like, talking about her own work and just like, you know, like, oh, you know what? I regret pairing Ron and Hermione together. Like, she says stuff like that, and like, oh, you know, I've never said that Hermione was white. She says stuff like that, like, all the time.
Oh, because they cast the Black
like,
Hermione.
she messes around with her world a lot. Like she declares that Dumbledore is gay. Well, you know, like, stuff like that. It messes with the world a bit. And sometimes, like, she gets caught on like that one thing where she said, I never said Hermione was white. And then, like, literally someone tweets her back, and a quote from the book, like, her face was so white because Hermione was shocked or something. So I'm like,
that is hilarious. People are so funny.
No, dude, people, like, Harry Potter fans, they're I mean, because people, like, we reread the books a hell of a lot, so
yeah,
we're gonna quote stuff. In fact, that whole issue with the teleporting thing, that actually just got solved too recently by someone showing another quote from the book. So I just like reading about it. It was like a whole Twitter war thing about the Harry Potter universe. We're pretty hardcore, so.
That's awesome. Rurudu in the chat says J.K. Rowling got solo writing credit for Crimes of the Grindelwald. So yeah, this will be all on her, I guess. Yeah, see, from writer J.K. Rowling, just when we say that too. So, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess she is quite accountable for this. Nerf Diva in the chat says it's a figure of speech. You know, it is, but yeah, like the kappa on Nerf Diva's chat message, it's really funny. Yeah, like. Yeah, it's a figure of speech. No, and yeah, they did have that controversy because they cast the black actress, the black singer for the Broadway play, the sun, the one about the sun. What's it called again?
The Cursed Child, something.
There, the Cursed Child. So yeah. So I'm just gonna scroll back through the chat real quick just to get through all of these. Make sure we emphasize that. Nerf Diva in the chat said they have decades worth of story before Harry Potter. So yeah, that's true. And
they were saying that maybe the whole reason why they can't teleport there was because something happened in these movies to make the rule.
See,
it was that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then, yeah, Diego in the chat says he actually went to the train station in London. I am jealous, and saw the platform 9 and 3/4. Like.
It's always the people that don't care as much.
If you think about it, like, why are kids taking the train if they can just teleport to school, you know?
Safety? maybe the distance is kind of scary to jump that far.
I guess. I don't know the laws of magic. I don't know.
True. Otherwise, you would have gotten your letter ages ago.
God, so disappointed.
Rudy says, war with Voldemort will do that to a man. Talking about the aging of Dumbledore. That's true. and the fact that he let himself go. Yeah, see? The dude has been through, like, how many wars? He's fought with his brothers. Like, give the man a break.
Maybe throughout the 5 movies, you slowly see him, like, digress into, like, a hope, like this weird wizard old dude from, like, this hip, cool 1920s guy. That'd be cool.
That'd be so funny. Yeah, I would be down for more young Dumbledore. Just like we talked about having young Gandalf as a TV show. And it'd just be him the same age being like, "Hey there, fellow wizards."
Because Gandalf was never young, just to say.
Yeah. And so he was Gandalf the Grey. Let's see here. Diego posted a link that I opened up on screen for a bit, but Diego, yes, Nightbot did put you on a timeout. You should know better being on our shows that you can't just spam a link about news. Send it to us on Facebook or something, man. Sheesh.
I did not know you could do that. Like if the Nightbot actually intercepts it, that's cool.
Yeah, because come on, man, come on.
All right.
Let's see here. And too much luggage. Okay, let's move on. Any other thoughts on Fantastic Beasts, Juancho? Because, man, it's Harry Potter in HD, just like how the new Star Wars is Star Wars in HD. So I can't complain. Like it's pretty good. Like the visuals are stunning.
I'm excited to just go back in Hogwarts, honestly, like just see the castle again and all that.
You think much has changed,
great.
Or much would be different?
I don't know what else you could do to a magical castle. I mean, I don't know. It probably stuff is different. It's magic. I mean, the freaking staircases move all the time. I'm sure they're not the same.
Would Nick still be around, or would he already be headless at that point? Because I'm not sure on the time.
He's probably dead by then. Yeah, because he looks like a.
Yeah, he looks like he's Shakespearean.
Yeah,
he looks like he's Shakespeare. Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. Diego nitpicking in the chat. Diego, before you start nitpicking, scroll up and read everything that I type before. this guy, man, like oh my gosh. Like I messaged like all the details for that scrub cup thing that we're gonna try and do, and then he's like, "Is this for the Quit Stalling Overwatch Online Open?" Like. Just scroll up. Like I don't ask for much, Diego. Just scroll up a little bit, just like one message above, and then you'll see the answer to your question. I love you, Diego. All right, Ojas in the chat says Nick was already headless. Nick the ghost. Oh yeah, he's like 600 something. Okay, then that's right.
Yeah. I didn't know
Diego,
that. I didn't know it was 600 or something.
Oh yeah, that's a long time to be dead and headless at the same time. You think they have to adjust to that, or you're just like, I'm cool?
I wouldn't know. Haven't died yet so far, so.
That's true. So hopefully we can keep that streak going. All right. In other news, in other trailerific news, man. Speaking of stunning visuals from an established company. Man, this thing right here. For those of you who don't know or haven't seen it yet, the Infinity War second trailer is dropped, and it is stunning. Juancho, man, thoughts on this?
It was pretty. It was hella pretty. That's all I gotta say. So much CG. I don't know.
Yeah, so much CG, right?
It's really nice to see, like, the characters just interact, because the world is so dense now since the last Avengers. Just the fact that they're putting the Guardians in, that adds like so many people,
Yeah, and considering like the last Avengers technically wasn't Civil War, like if you look at the last Avengers, they were like 6-7 people, and now we have like God knows how many, including the Guardians. Like,
I mean, like per movie, they don't just add one person, because let's say what movie was that? Like the Black Panther. They're adding Black Panther and the bald lady, I forget her name.
Okoye. and
There's one
Nakia.
more, right? Who's on the actual poster?
Nakia.
Mhm. And the genius kid.
Oh, Suri.
Yeah.
What
And
are
then
those?
And then from Doctor Strange, you have Wong. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, in Ant-Man you had the Wasp. Who I from what I've heard, Scott Lang and what's her name aren't gonna be in Infinity War. The
Oh, really?
Wasp. That's what I heard, but I hope they are, cause gosh, I need more giant Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like that was awesome.
I mean, I didn't think about it, but are they even in the poster?
They're not in the trailer, from what I
I mean,
remember, so.
for all you know, they're just tiny in the trailer, and that's why you can't see them.
Yeah. That's true. That's a very good point. I mean, Spider-Man is barely of age, so like his size is questionable as well. Like Tony Stark. You know what? So here's the thing, man. Before I get too sidetracked, because I realize I'm sidetracking myself. They're really. Hold on, let me.
Holy spoiler alert!
They're really kind of setting us up for a bit of disappointment, right? It feels like they're either debating us or they're prepping us to get ready for something emotionally hindering, like a death, or deaths.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the end of Iron Man and Captain America. Aren't their contracts up after this?
They are, and I'm not ready. I am not ready, man. I'm not ready for this.
I don't know. I feel like we need to move on anyway.
You need to
Fresh
move
blood and all
on.
that.
I'm fine living in the present.
I mean, they're making Black Panther the new face of Marvel, so.
Oh, just in the chat says Ant-Man and Hawkeye weren't in the poster.
No,
I mean-
Hawkeye not being there, that was so funny. That's like a meme now. It's such a big deal that he's not there.
And he's saying that they weren't even credited. So, I mean, Ant-Man has a movie coming out right after Infinity War, and I mean, a good excuse for them to brush Hawkeye aside is he's making sure his family is safe, because he kind of put him in danger after getting caught up in the Civil War,
Mm-hmm. I mean, he quit. Didn't he? I'm pretty sure he quit like one of these, one scene or something. Mm-hmm. But then again, quitting doesn't really matter in the universe. Tony Stark quit a long time ago.
He quit in Age of Ultron. Yeah, Tony Stark quit. Like Ant-Man quit. Hawkeye quit in Age of Ultron and came back for Civil War when Cap needed backup. And yeah, Tony quit like how many times already? Like, sheesh, doesn't count anymore.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I don't know where we're going with this.
Rurudu in the chat says this is the third
we're trying
Avengers
to think
movie.
of who is gonna just not die, I guess, in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, in the trailer, you see Captain America just straight up fighting Thanos, and I'm pretty sure he is screwed. I'm pretty sure his arm's gonna break or something.
Oh man.
Jeez, do you see his hand? Like his finger. That's all freaking Captain America could hold. Captain America could hold.
Oh man,
and
yeah.
I feel sorry for him. I'm pretty sure he's effed. And a good thing about the trailer is they finally show Thanos' helmet. He doesn't look like a grape. So
yeah. I mean, he still does in certain scenes, but like, yeah, you're right. Like, they finally show him in full armor, full fighting armor. I'm sure he gets afraid from what he faces on Earth, and then he's just like, I'm just gonna put this on and make sure I don't get hurt.
Oh, and one of the things they actually reveal in the trailer is Thanos' goal. It's really hard to notice because of all the super cool things flying around, but
yeah.
Gamora actually talks during the trailer.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, so she actually tells you that he has only one goal since ever, and it's to literally kill half of the world or something.
Yeah, so he can dominate. He dominate.
Like he gets it straight from the comic where he kills half of the world with the snap of his finger. I feel like he's actually gonna do that. I feel like that's actually gonna happen.
That's crazy. You think we're gonna end on that, or?
Oh no, I feel like probably it would end like that. End on that. I mean, they have to lose this movie so that the second movie is gonna be a hell of a lot cooler, right?
That's true. That's true. Rudu in the chat says this is the third Avengers movie, and their contracts are up after the fourth. So, man, that's crazy. I mean, they could easily be in the fourth and just be flashbacks. Oh, I hope not, though. I hope not. Ojos in the chat says the director said Hawkeye would be in the Infinity War. Directors, I guess, because these are the Russo brothers, right? Doing Infinity War. Infinity War. And he says Thanos' hand is like half Cap's body. And Cap is jacked, dude. Guy works hard. Guy works hard. Okay. Yeah, so
don't worry though. He has that new pointy shield that he's gonna use against the gauntlet.
Real quick, man, I'm not a fan of that. Are you?
No, definitely not.
It looks so awkward.
Shield, where he presses something and then the tip goes forward. That's weird. That is weird.
Someone clip that out. Someone clip that out when he presses something and the tip goes forward. Yeah, so it's ridiculous, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie because it's supposed to have the longest runtime, 156 minutes, I think, is what it's supposed to be. So that's 2 hours and a half.
What I want to know, actually, I'm not sure if the information is out yet, is how much they had to spend to make this movie. Would you know?
No, I do not, but that is a good question. That's a very good question.
If a movie is that long with a freaking hell of a star-studded cast, you have to think it's gonna be hell of expensive.
Yeah, it's definitely really expensive because, I mean, whether they're in it for like 20 minutes or the full 2 hours, or 2 hours and a half, like they're still gonna be paid like quite a bit. So we got some info.
Could you show
Go for it.
the poster? Actually, we could talk about that too.
Is this not the
actual
poster?
Oh,
okay.
No, the one where like Iron Man's doing like the Jesus pose.
Oh,
Isn't
okay.
that the
Let me
actual
look for
poster?
that. Let me look for that. But yeah. In the meantime, Rudu in the chat has given us the a bit of the deets. If you could read that out.
Oh, they said Rurutu says they said they will spend $1 billion for Avengers Scene 4, but that probably includes marketing. I mean, $1 billion for 2 movies, so that's around 4 hours long. I can imagine that. Makes sense.
Let's be honest, man. People always talk about how these movies don't need marketing anymore. Like they're saying Star Wars movies don't need marketing because they're gonna come out anyway. But people now are being pissed off because they're saying Solo is not getting enough marketing. So yeah, that makes sense that having a large budget go part of it go to marketing still makes sense because you still have to get people hyped up.
Heck, I mean, if you make a trailer for Avengers, you're gonna make money off just the views on YouTube, probably, right?
That's true.
I remember
you should get a bit of ROI.
Age of Ultron. The trailer for Age of Ultron broke the record for fastest number of views back then, or something.
Wow.
But anyway, so this poster though, it's really pretty. But I mean, look at Tony Stark. His pose just screams, "I'm going to die for you." You know.
Jesus walks. Jesus walks. He has that weird ass suit. He has that weird ass space suit. So yeah, not looking forward to anyone dying. Let's stay.
You
off
have
the
to think
topic
too.
for
Like, if you're in this poster, man, you are just you're solid. You're solid because, I mean, they didn't put Hawkeye or any Ant-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
But we have 3 people from Black Panther. Are you kidding me? They could just put the Black Panther.
And we have freaking Mantis on this thing. Come on.
Hawkeye didn't need that much space. He doesn't need that much space.
Yeah, put him where Mantis is. What the most she achieved was getting hit by a meteor and getting Batista yelling at her, "Mantis, look out!" after she gets squashed. Like,
Don't
come
worry.
on.
She can probably make Thanos sleep or something.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, we also got a bit of a glimpse. We need to glaze over this real quick. Within the past 2 trailers, we got a glimpse of Thanos' entourage. So he isn't coming alone.
Oh yeah.
He's got his crew with him. Assuming
I forgot what
I'm
you called
assuming. Yeah. I'm assuming they're Gamora's brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's got.
Oh,
Juancho!
sorry.
Juancho,
I am
what
so
are you
sorry.
doing? Juancho! Yeah, so I'm assuming, it's not that loud, don't worry.
Okay.
I'm assuming they're gonna be part of the large amount of threat that we're gonna get worldwide in Infinity War. And, you're gonna get parts of the Avengers and the Guardians handling one of each before they face off against Thanos if it's gonna follow your typical formula for movies. You can't fight them all at the same time. There, Black Order. Thank you, Ojos.
I hope you do. I hope maybe they're the main enemies of this movie, and then Thanos is in the next one. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be cool. Like Thanos just snaps his finger, destroys half the world, and then comes back the next time, and we see him get his ass kicked.
Ruruto says they're all gonna get beaten by Star-Lord's dance moves.
Yes. Could we get
Yes.
more? Can we get more of that, or could we get like a group dance with the Avengers, with the Guardians, and then Wakanda just being like. Imagine like that large of a Thriller dance. That'd be ridiculous. I'd be up for that.
That's all. I mean, if they want to make promotional material, they just have to do that, and man, the internet's gonna blow up.
Yes, and then you start off with Star-Lord being like, "Hey guys, you guys like my Zune?" And then that's where it starts,
Your Zune?
Because Yondu got him a Zune at the end of the movie.
What?
Did you not see
Really?
that?
Holy spoiler alert!
Yeah, Yondu got him a Zune.
Yeah, he did.
He's like, it's all the rage
wow.
now on Earth to replace his Walkman.
That's funny. He replaced his Walkman with another outdated device.
And one that never really took off, sadly.
I know.
Sadly, but yeah, Walkmans now apparently are how you listen to like high def
High
audio.
quality, yeah.
Hi-fi audio. So shoot, I gotta get me a Walkman. Because my phone doesn't have that much space. Actually, it does have a lot of space now. I got a new phone. I can play Hearthstone on my phone now. All right, just in the chat says, what's an iPod? And then you get the next level where Tony's like, and we have phones that could do that now, and it just blows Star-Lord's mind. I would love that. Oh man, yeah, I can see Star-Lord swiping some text.
I think what would blow his mind is that you could just stream music now, because now he's like, all the music's contained in his Zune, right? But now that he's on Earth, he has the internet.
Oh, dude,
And
the internet
Spotify.
would destroy him. He'd just be at home watching Netflix while Thanos wrecks the rest of the world. All right. Avengers Infinity War, April 25, thanks to Robert Downey Jr. So looking forward to that next month, guys. We are a month away, Juancho. We are a month away.
Oh yeah, that actually shocked me too. I didn't realize we were a month away.
I was actually
I mean, the
hoping I wouldn't.
Harry Potter is coming out like November.
What?
And, yeah. November,
Why
and I
give
was like,
us-
man, that's so soon. Then I did research. Then I checked when Infinity War was showing. I'm like, holy crap, it's next month.
See, what Fantastic Beasts did? That's how you lose interest in a movie. Is hype people up too soon, and then when the movie comes out, they're just like, oh, it's out. Nah, okay, I guess we can watch that, and then they don't. That's how that happens, man.
I mean, that's why you send out multiple trailers. That's what they're gonna do. Don't worry. It's not like
If
they're
you
not
do-
gonna show any more stuff till like November.
If you do too many, then you burn people out. If you do too few, like again, just do it closer to the movie, is my opinion. As a
They should do
consumer,
They should do what Cloverfield did. You know, just show the trailer, and the movie's coming out later tonight.
Genius. That was
hella cool, but I actually haven't watched the movie yet.
See? Oh wait, no, that's just weird.
I would have that day. And then I just waited a bit, but then people started saying the movie was bad.
Oh, okay. You were too into your super bowels. You're too into your super bowels. All right. Let's switch gears real quick, man. Let's talk about some DC stuff. Ironically, I'm playing Star Wars music, but I mean not Star Wars music, space jazz, because you know they go through time and space. Here we go. Constantine is gonna be a permanent fixture on DC and CW's Legends of Tomorrow, which is great news for Constantine fans. He's had a huge following. Some may call it a cult following. Some may say it's larger.
Do you see what you did there?
TV
cult
show.
Following because he's into the occult. You're funny.
The occult. Yeah, yeah. Don't clip that out, please. Don't clip that out. Yeah. So Constantine is getting as far as we know, a permanent role on the Legends of Tomorrow because people love him and. It was quite a surprise when his show got canceled. So, whoops! It's only good that he's gonna be there regularly now. So it's great. And from what I've heard, he's been a welcome addition to the team in terms of what he brings. And you know, people like we mentioned, you know, people loved his animated stuff to get them by. And yeah, he's on the show now. I'm just gonna keep saying that until people cheer us with some bits.
I mean, Constantine has to be one of the coolest characters in the DC universe right now. He recently had a movie, like, I haven't watched his series. I wish I did. I mean, like, when I read the news that it was getting canceled, I just saw a lot of people just getting really depressed about it. Like, they're...
Yeah.
And I love the Constantine of Keanu Reeves. Fucking love that movie.
The one that looks nothing like the comic.
Yeah, but still, it's cool. Shia LaBeouf was there. I was like, and he dies.
Was he there?
It's awesome. Huh?
I gotta see that movie. Was he there?
Oh, you haven't watched that?
I have not.
Dude, I watched that like 3 times in the cinema when it came out.
See, now I have to watch it because Shia LaBeouf is.
He's there and he's like still a kid. He's like fresh from Even Stevens.
Gosh, Even Stevens was my jam.
Yeah, but I guess one of my favorite things though is the DC animated movies, dude. Like DC animated movies are really, really damn good. I'm forgetting the one that's with Constantine.
John Constantine, folks at home, not Constantine Maroulis, one-time American Idol contestant. John Constantine is who we're talking about.
Oh, it was just called Justice League Dark, and
it
basically follows Constantine. And it was great. It was such a good animated movie, and the voice actor for Constantine in that movie is actually the actor. This guy
right here. Yes. So yeah, I love the fact that they're keeping it consistent. You know, you tend to get people to voice the people who are different from the actors who play them in live action, to voice them in like animated stuff. It's great that it's this guy, because from what I hear from fans of the comic as well as the character himself, we lost your video. There, we got it back. You know, what I heard is what they hear in their heads when they read the comics is pretty much what he does. So yeah, good job.
I mean, it's a good way to funnel fans of Constantine into Legends of Tomorrow. So,
yeah, I'm all for that. And you know, Legends hasn't been the most consistently watched show, so it's struggled a little bit. So I'm glad it's getting a little bit of traction and some great stuff in terms of content and character development and character additions, because they have a rotating and ever evolving cast for the show. So it's good that they're managing to keep a high quality in terms of who they're bringing on to replace the people that either die or choose to leave the team.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I don't know. Do you watch Legends of Tomorrow?
I did until this season, and then I kind of got disinterested. But now that I've seen this, I might pick it up again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the question I was going to ask. Like, does the addition of Constantine actually make you want to pick up the series again?
Yeah, kind of does.
I might, just starting the season, he's in it.
Yeah. Do it.
Just to see how he mixes with the entire cast, because Constantine is always this, like, lone wolf, badass kind of character, and I want to see him, like, how he is with other superhero people.
Yeah, I'm with you, because he does bring, like you said, the occult. He has a different flavor to him compared to traditional superheroes. So it'd be nice to see how his powers and his personality mix with more traditional superheroes.
So Ruru2 on the chat says you don't need to watch it. It's a waste of time. Not sure. Are you talking about the Constantine movie, the Constantine series, or Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah, we kind of didn't pick up on the exact moment you messaged that.
But
so
then
let us know
Francis
which one you meant.
saying do it. So I don't know. I'm so confused
No,
now.
He's just saying just do it.
Oh, okay. Right.
I guess I will. I mean, I still have to rewatch Crystal Skull and the rest of the Indiana Jones movies. So, and on the last part there for Legends of Tomorrow, I haven't enjoyed it quite as much since Whitworth Miller left. The guy who played Captain Cold, he was on Prison Break, because he was oddly compelling. I liked his rendition of Captain Cold, which is very different from how you would picture Captain Cold portrayed, because in the comics he's sort of one-dimensional, and Wentworth Miller just brings so much depth and character to the guy. And since he left Legends, I feel like there's been a bit of a hole that they couldn't fill. And the guy who plays Rory on Doctor Who, who's playing Rip in Legends of Tomorrow, Rip Hunter, he was amazing, and then they lessened his role on the show via writing to the point that when he got back on the show on a more consistent basis, his character wasn't as appealing anymore. So, like there have been holes that have been created and that haven't been filled. So, which you can get and do well on a show like this, but it hasn't been up to the standard that you would hope. And hopefully they can. This is a sign of things going up again, and it doesn't hurt if they can bring Shia LaBeouf in, and he could just come in and be like, just do it. I would be all game for that. I'd be game for that.
I actually miss seeing Shia. I haven't seen him in anything more recent. I see him all the time in memes though. Like, do you see his "He Will Not Divide Us" stuff on the internet?
Oh, could you link me to that later, please?
Like, no, he just does like this crazy protest. Like he does he live streams a flag and all that, and then he gets attacked by 4chan, and it's hilarious.
Oh man, 4chan,
like,
man. 4chan is dangerous.
4chan people are crazy, and they're hella bullying Shia. It's just one of the things I follow. It's like they play the biggest game of capture the flag. That's what they call it.
Okay.
Because Shia just has this live stream of the flag, and then it's up to 4chan people to replace it with the Donald Trump hat. And they've done it. They've done it multiple times. Crazy.
Yeah, you gotta link me to that after. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to Rick and Morty, man. Rick and Morty put out this really cool music video over the weekend, and we're gonna have that playing in and out as we talk about the news. So you talked about them tweeting today, and take it away, man.
Yeah. So basically, I think someone tweeted Dan Harmon about how he should stop drinking and work on the show or something. I mean, that's how the fans are. Like hardcore fans, they always try to rush these creators. I know a few people who do that to authors, and in reply, Dan Harmon actually says that it can be challenging to write a show that hasn't been ordered by a network. So I find that crazy that Adult Swim just hasn't even picked up the show again yet, and I'm getting worried. And I could understand like if Adult Swim doesn't pick up the show again just because of how crazy negative the Rick and Morty show has been the past year, with the whole Szechuan sauce stuff on with McDonald's, or how crazy the fans are just shouting "Pickle Rick" in public.
How is that
spaces,
negative?
You know?
How is bringing Szechuan sauce back into the world negative, Juancho, in any way? I think that has impacted my life in a positive way.
The lengths people went to get the sauce, and how much they were pushing for it.
I think that's McDonald's
tried the
fault, man.
Szechuan
They
sauce?
dropped the ball. McDonald's dropped the ball. They had the opportunity. They had the opportunity to capitalize, and what do they do? Sorry, sis. My sister has ties to McDonald's.
Yeah. The McDonald's people did mess up, but then the way Rick and Morty fans reacted to it wasn't so good either.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I hear Discord bleeping. Could you keep going while I look for the source of that?
But yeah, so it's Dan Harmon's tweet is actually more graphic. I just didn't actually say the entire thing, but it's crazy that season 4 hasn't been picked up yet. I mean, I'm not sure if you have a time frame to work with. Did Mr. Poopy Butthole say anything at the end of the latest season? He didn't, right? He did say
You just said get off your butts, guys, and start making something out of your lives while you wait for this. Like, stop harassing Dan Harmon.
Did he say just eventually it's gonna come out? Unlike the season before that, where he actually tells you it's gonna be released in, I don't know, a year and a half, and it actually did on the dot. We don't have anything to work with.
Yeah, no, but that's the point, right? He's saying get off Justin and Dan, and you know, since that hiatus, like Poopy Butthole got a job. He put himself through masters, I think, through college. Started a family. Like, come on, guys, you have better things to do than harass.
And before that, he healed from his injury too. You know.
Yeah.
Then
so
eat it all.
Yeah, and Nerf Diva in the chat gets to the point that we wanted to make, was they haven't been renewed yet. You know, like why? Like we already mentioned that at the start of this bit, but like, why haven't they renewed it? You know, like you know, we mentioned various reasons, because it could be the impact the show's had could be negative and perceived negative in some way. But the thing is,
the way the tweet came out was someone attacked Dan Harmon. I think he just posted a picture of him drinking, or I don't know, something like that. And he was attacked by a fan, like, "Oh, you get off your butt and work on the show." And then that's why he did this aggressive tweet.
Yeah.
Get off your butt and quit stalling.
Yeah. And Dan is the type of guy that works best when he's inebriated, whether fans like it or not. Like, that's how he works. And you know, that's part of the reason why his marriage fell apart.
Okay, I don't know anything that personal, but okay.
Yeah. No, and his shows typically don't last this long. You know, Community struggled really hard to get to 6 seasons. Harmon Quest might not even make it past 2 seasons. You know, so the fact that Rick and Morty is getting potentially a 4th season is a testament to how good. 1, the fan base is. 2, the passion that these guys have for making Rick and Morty is, you know. So give them a break, guys. Give George R.R. Martin a break too while we're at it. Juancho. All right.
I'm sure they probably hit a writer's wall or something like that. I mean, it's pretty hard to top last season, and what you have to work off is just complete randomness.
Yeah.
Like,
and how do you write
out of the box, you know?
Exactly. And, you know, if you do this season and they tell you it's the last one, how do you write it in a way that wraps things up in a good way? So that's also the pressure that they could be facing. And also, animating this stuff is not easy. There's like a short clip that Tracy showed me before.
The animation in general isn't easy.
Yeah, like
It's a lengthy.
it's a Cartoon Network like sort of a PSA that they make light of, where they show you why it takes forever to get these done is because, you know, they write them, send it to the animators, get that approved, have rewrites get approved, and then sent back to the animators so they could reanimate, and then the voice actors come in, and it's a long process, and it's not as easy as it was back then, like in the early 90s or even the 80s and 70s, where you have these cells that go on top of each other that they could just manipulate and reuse. And that's kind of why as well a lot of the old cartoons look like they have scenes that are reused, because those were rushed and quality wasn't of the utmost importance when it came to scenes, which was sad. But you know, now people really want to take care of these properties, and that's why we get these long hiatuses, because they don't want to just give you slideshows that are repetitive.
I learned something today. I actually thought that at the advent of computers, animation should be a lot easier.
Well,
And
yeah,
stuff should be faster, but you have a point, yeah.
yeah. In a sense, it is easier. That's why they want to do it right.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, South Park is another story. You guys should watch that documentary of the behind the scenes with South Park. It's awesome. They do everything in the span of 7 days, and it's stressful as hell.
I mean, because they have to make jokes about current events, like
Yeah,
current to the dot.
and it's so good,
I mean,
right? They considering their process.
I mean, that's the reason why the recent season of South Park failed. Do you know about that? Like, why it was really low rated? Because
Yeah.
their overall plot line didn't make sense, because they assumed Donald Trump was going to lose.
Yeah, that was rough. All right.
I'm sure they're fine, though.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure they're fine.
mean,
they're still rolling in the dough.
What a weird day to say that one of the best RPGs ever made, being released right now, is South Park.
You're right. Fractured but whole and stick of truth, guys. All right, so let's get to episode recap real quick, Juancho. Let's do this. What is the
All right,
what is
let's
the
go.
sound? Where's the sound for that? We have a episode recap specific thing, right? Where is that?
The one with the Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm looking for it.
We haven't used it in a while, to be fair.
Yeah. Here we go.
I'm pretty sure the last time.
Holy spoiler alert!
Sorry. All right, it's time for episode recap, and this episode recap is brought to you by the Quit Stalling's first ever Hearthstone Fireside Gathering. Yes, it is true. We are having our first ever Fireside Gathering at Playtaste Manila, which is right next to Spectre Manila, on April 7, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Everyone is welcome, whether you've played Hearthstone before or not. This is happening, and we just needed an excuse to hang out with people and get Blizzard swag. So, Hearthstone, come play Wait, I think I have a clip of that. 1 second. Let me. That'd be.
Oh
a
no,
good
you're
thing
gonna
to-
find another clip?
Yes, I am.
Ever.
Okay, sorry, that was a little loud. Sorry.
That was pretty much.
Sorry. But yeah, come play Hearthstone with us. April 7, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. We will see you guys then. But for now, Juancho, let's recap. We've gone on for quite a bit, but we still want to recap Star Wars Rebels because oh my gosh, was it an awesome finale.
Yes, man. Well, the entire season was pretty epic.
Yeah.
But spoiler warning for everyone who hasn't watched Star Wars Rebels, it's something you should definitely pick up. It starts off, it feels really like a kid's show, but then there are just a lot of adult themes, I guess, since they have to deal with a lot of death and loss and all that. And it really expanded into the Star Wars universe. Like, what they did in the last few episodes of Rebels, I could imagine they could just build. I could write tons of comics and books about it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
I'm with you.
I mean, there's that and the action. The action was hella cool. Star Wars Rebels is the home of my favorite lightsaber fight, Maul versus Obi-Wan, the last time.
That lasted 5 seconds. I swear to God, it was longer to build up.
That 5 seconds, there's so much tension in that 5 seconds, and every slash had meaning. We talked about this before.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Like how he changes form to match Qui-Gon's and all that. But then if you wanna know more about it, you have to, I guess, just find one of the older shows or just search the internet, because we're talking about the latest episodes, and man, they introduced time travel into the universe. So
weird. I found it so weird. All right, so let's get to that. Let's delve into that.
Okay.
So in the most recent episode, they did introduce time travel, and it was through Ezra Bridger, and they managed to pull him into somewhat of a Force heavy zone, I guess, which we thought, based on trailers, would involve the three people from Mortis more, but they didn't really do much. Like, I thought they'd actually make an appearance.
Technically, the daughter was there, right? She's the owl.
Oh yeah, she is the owl.
And they were the key to entering the. I don't even know what to call it. The Nexus, I guess. Is it a light side Nexus? Isn't that what you call it in the universe?
I guess you could call it a Nexus. So let me bring up a video real quick, so we don't have to keep explaining what it is, because it's trippy, right? It is not.
The cool thing about
Star
it too
Wars.
is if you pay attention to the entire plot line, entire story of the series, is that's not the first time he's been there. That's not the first time Ezra's been there in the mysterious darkness zone, or whatever you call it. He's there in the first season. It's just that he's so untrained that all he sees is darkness and Yoda. But now that he's like a full-fledged Jedi, he actually sees the flow of the Force, I guess that's what you call it.
So yeah, it's a weird thing to show, because like you mentioned, it's not conventional Star Wars. It really is world building and universe expanding stuff, and we can appreciate that very much, because again, if this was in the movies, people would freak out and they might complain. But since it is introduced in a show, it's a good way of easing us into it. And if they give this to us now in the live action TV show that they're releasing on the Disney platform, it will be easier to accept, because it's not something that they just shoved in our faces through a movie.
It's true. And I could imagine this showing up more in probably the comics, just because it's so out there,
Yeah. I hope they don't overuse it, is my hope. Like, if they do this too much, it'll feel like they're forcing it down our throats. But if they just do this, like, give us little pricks, like how they did in Rebels. Like, don't overexpose us to this, and just have it be like the Star. Rudu in the chat says it's a Stargate. Yeah, like, expose us to these Stargates, very reserved, very minimally. Because there is more stuff that they haven't touched on, like codexes and holocrons. I would appreciate they use
and
more.
And midichlorians.
Let's not go back to that. I just want midichlorians to be like an EP measurement, like how much DPS someone does. I just want that to be it. Like, hey man, check out my midichlorians. I'd be fine with that, because, geez, like, I get that George wanted to tie it in with science more, but hopefully now people will handle Star Wars more of a space fantasy way, because that's what we need. If we wanted sci-fi, we have Star Trek and the more down-to-earth stuff. Like, I need myself some space wizards, man.
And you can't get any more fantasy with this magic portal hole that leads to I don't even know what to describe it. The flow of time.
Yeah. It's awkward, like, if this was handled not as well as it was on the show, I could see way more backlash.
Oh no, people were gonna. This is like introducing time travel into anything just complicates it a lot. Like, because then it has to follow certain rules and all that. It has to make those rules clear.
Yes.
And I feel like Rebels did it okay.
Yeah.
They did it well. I mean, I liked it a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
what do
and
you
that's
think?
why I'm saying they shouldn't do it too much, because the more you do it, the blurrier the lines get.
I'm glad he didn't use it to just save everyone.
Yes.
Like, because they're basically also space monks. They believe in that there's a true path they have to follow. Like he can't just mess with the entire timeline, because some people are there where they're meant to be. And yeah, it just so happens Caleb Doom just had to die, and that was hella emotional.
Oh, Kanan. So if you want to bring up Kanan real quick, we can talk about that now. So for those of you who are fans of Freddie Prinze Jr. as a Jedi, it wasn't meant to last too long because of the fate of the Jedi by the time we get to A New Hope. So, and this is one of those things like Ahsoka's final fate that people were very curious about. Like, what is going to happen to these other two Jedi, namely Ezra and Kanan, aka Caleb Doom. And we get to find out in the first episode back from their short hiatus, or long hiatus for the last few episodes, that Kanan gets pew pew.
After having a really bad haircut. I did not like his hair.
Yeah, I think it's because he's blind. Like, you can't really cut your hair when you're blind.
He explained to himself, so.
I mean, it wasn't horrible, right? Like, it wasn't the worst thing. It was like a weird mullet hybrid.
It made Ezra look older than him, you know?
And then when he comes back as like a pseudo Force ghost to Hera, he had his old haircut. So what was the point? I think
pseudo Force ghost. What the hell are you talking about?
Like when Hera had visions of him.
Actually, it came across to me that he came back as the wolf, right?
Yeah, he also came back as the wolf. But there was a time when Hera like really needed him, and like she felt like his hand on her shoulder.
Oh, I don't remember. I didn't notice that.
You gotta rewatch it. But yeah, I was very distraught at the fact that Kanan got killed, and the way they presented these last few episodes was an hour each. You know, like they'd give us like an hour 20 each. Like they'd give us like 2 episodes at a time for 3 weeks, which was for me a good way of doing it because I got to binge it a little bit. But yeah, like this was heavy, considering that I had a week to stew on it. Like, it was rough, man. I didn't think coming into the show, you were right. Same with the Clone Wars, where the show felt kiddie at the start, and then they gave us more depth as Dave Filoni does. He brings in the kids, and then he adds depth for the adults. And I didn't expect to be attached to Ezra and Kanan and the rest of the cast of the Rebels. Especially Sabine.
Definitely.
I thought Sabine was lame.
I did not expect to get attached either. I mean, like when you're first introduced to them, they look ridiculous. Like this kid has blue hair, and then you have this what do you call that? The bounty hunter dudes.
Oh, the Mandalorians? The
Mandalorians, like a pink Mandalorian. I'm like, it's ridiculous. But then eventually you're like, you feel for them. And
like
the last
Ahsoka.
episode, you're just rooting for them the entire time.
Exactly, and I compare it to how I developed my affection. Oh, that sounds gross. My fondness for Ahsoka, because at the start I was like, Anakin has a secret apprentice again. My heart was ripped out when we never got a resolution of Star Killer, and we're gonna do this again. But I ended up loving Ahsoka, and especially the more they developed her character and the more time you spent watching her. Like, it's the same thing with these Rebels, and they did a good job of showing part of the rebellion outside of the Skywalker saga. Like, sure, they brought in Vader, which I think they could have done without, and the Emperor as well, but they needed to tie it in somehow. and it felt more of a distant, distant look at the galaxy throughout the Empire and the Rebellion, compared to shoot, I'm blanking on the name of the movie that came out with Jyn Erso. Rogue One, Rouge One. Because Rogue One was still heavily involved in the right before A New Hope. Like, you could feel it, and then the way that got tied in by the end of the movie where Leia was there, it just felt not as satisfying for some reason for me. And this did a great job of being like, okay, this is how other planets were dealing with that conflict while the Empire was dominating. And then even at the epilogue, Juancho, I think you'll agree with me here, the epilogue showed a great way of tying that in, because they're saying like they were expecting a retaliation on Lothal, the planet that was sort of the focus of the whole series. They were expecting the Empire to retaliate after they took it back. And then, thanks to the events of A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi, the Empire never got the chance to, until the galaxy was in some form liberated. So it was great for me. I enjoyed this thoroughly, and in no small part because of the final episode, the epilogue that tied everything together.
I mean, it's a great direction to bring into Star Wars. You know, Star Wars is supposed to be something that involves millions of planets, like entire solar systems, and showing the story of one planet, and it's that deep that you show their struggles, and it's pretty good. So I'm excited for what they can do in the future when they bring in even more planets. Heck, make a story about Alderaan and just break our hearts, right?
No, I don't want to know those people. They're just numbers to me, Juancho. They're just numbers to me. Oh yeah, like. But and you're right. Dude.
Yeah. Another thing, so like I said, Rebels opens up so many things, right? So we have this whole time travel thing to work with, but also they brought up what do you call that? The Outer Rim.
Yes, we needed more.
So
of that.
We're getting more of that unknown space, and I feel like that's the direction Dave Filoni was going for, right? Mm-hmm. That's where Admiral Thrawn and Ezra are.
Yes, that is supposedly where they are with all those space whales.
And I feel like since they introduced that, they're going to add this huge thing that's in Legends, right? The next great Star War, apparently.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna be that's a way to introduce it. If it was ever gonna happen, it's leading up to it.
Yeah, and I don't know if people have kept up with the Forces of Destiny, which is a short YouTube series online. It's like 2-minute shorts. They have a new one today that came out. It involves Sabine and Hera. So if you can't get enough of the crew of the Ghost, the ship in Star Wars Rebels, check that out. Yeah, man, like I am so down for all of this. Like, I want to find out what happens to Thrawn and Ezra, because if they follow parts of the timeline that isn't canon anymore, Thrawn is supposed to play a big part post Battle of Yavin. Yeah. So, or Battle of Endor. So, I am curious to see like how they tie this in and everything. Like, I know Rebels gives you way more questions at the end than you thought it would, and like in a good way. So I'm excited to find out what happens, and they've left the door so wide open that they can't not handle this story, because if they do, it's crushing. We need them to tell us what happens to Ezra and Thrawn and Sabine and Ahsoka.
I just want to know what Ahsoka was doing during the actual events of Star Wars. You know? Oh yeah. What was she doing for the 3 years? She was next to Vader. She's probably the most powerful Force. Oh, and Yoda, most powerful Force user, I guess. And
At that
and she
point.
was part of the rebellion. And you have to think what was so important that she couldn't join the Battle of Endor and stuff like that.
Yeah, couldn't she trade Luke? Huh? Why did Luke have to go all the way to Yoda and Obi-Wan?
Fun fact. Maybe she did. You never know. There is a time skip between the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, right? There is a time skip.
No, but then why couldn't she have helped him face Vader? You know, like the thing with Yoda is he was too old. He couldn't leave Dagobah. But with Ahsoka, like if she was able to friggin' help Sabine find Ezra, she was well and able to help Luke face off against her old master. Like you're right. There should be a good reason.
Well, maybe she found out about this way bigger threat in the Outer Rim, and she was too busy with that. I don't know. Just throwing theories, but yeah.
Yeah. That's good, and again, that's universe expanding. I still wish we still get young Luke. Just not too young. Not. I need to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters.
I was so sure you're gonna bring that up. I'm like 100% you're gonna bring up that guy.
Oh, you mean Sebastian Stan? Sebastian Stan? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan?
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan? Yeah. For young Luke, the White Wolf man. The White Wolf.
Speaking of white wolves, how crazy were the scenes with the wolves?
Insane. They pulled it
You
off
have, like,
when I didn't think they would.
You have this huge space fight, like there are starships there, and then you have like lasers flying around, and then you have wolves, and then there's this guy with a laser sword. It was just crazy.
Really good. The show is way better than I expected, and thankfully so. Dave Filoni has a way of wrapping things up well. I just wish we got. It's kind of like with the Clone Wars. I wish they got to the point quicker.
That's
but
true.
I get it.
Rebels is known for a lot of fillers, but you never know. You never know. Like, I mean, saving the space whales in one episode, I completely thought that was filler. Like saving space whales, but it ended up being really important to the finale.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I just thought of something. Fan canon. Let Ahsoka help Starkiller find his way, because supposedly, let me hit this real quick.
Holy spoiler alert!
Supposedly, Starkiller by the second game is a clone. So help, what better way for Starkiller to find his way into the canon universe than having Vader's other apprentice show him that whether he's a clone or not, he's still important to the overall picture that the Force has for everyone.
I feel like they can't get into the Force Unleashed anymore, though. I think they ripped it apart, used parts of it for Rebels. Ram Koda is Kanan.
No, that's it. Oh yeah, Ram Koda is Kanan.
Like completely. The hair.
See that?
Eventually.
More parallels. Like you could have Starkiller be like, I
just
too
so
had a master
happened-
that was blind.
It just so happened at the time after Revenge of the Sith, like the few remaining Jedi, like it just so happened 2 of them went blind and then went on and let themselves go, but eventually found themselves back into the right path.
Yes.
Exact same story arc.
Yes, I'm game for that. Give us more. I need Starkiller in my life, man. I need Starkiller in my life. And if it's live action, do you just get they base the facial features of Starkiller on that dude? Oh man, I said his name a lot so much before. Sam Witwer. Like, just get Sam Witwer on that live action show as an older Starkiller who's still a little insane. A la Darth Maul. He was also the voice of Darth Maul. Yeah, so let's do this. Tie everything in.
It is Sam Witwer. It's.
Give us more fan service. I'm down for this, Juancho. And on that note, man, Let's do season. Is this 6 or season 5? 4.
Of what?
Sorry.
Rebels?
Star Wars Rebels. Yeah.
I think it was 4.
Okay. Season 4 alone. Let's give a rating. All right. Let's give a rating for season 4 alone. What would you rate on our Quit Stalling scale of 1 to 10? What would you rate Star Wars Rebels season 4 to wrap things up?
I'd give it a 9, something like that.
Oh my god.
I enjoyed it thoroughly, I guess. I'm trying to think of stuff I didn't like. I mean, it built the world so much, and I just like a lot of world building stuff.
Yeah.
And it has the right amount of closure versus build up versus I wouldn't call it build up versus foreshadowing, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, for future things, you know, like we still don't know what happened to Ezra, but then we know what happened to Hera. We know what happened to Rex. So you feel the closure, but there's still mystery.
Yeah.
So.
It's really awesome too that Kanan and Hera obviously got busy after, like right before he died, like
or you know, like people get pregnant by kissing in the Star Wars universe. You never know.
Yeah.
That could be how they procreate.
Or when he touched her shoulder.
Species.
When he touched her shoulder, he actually just impregnated her. Like,
I mean, like you mean like what? How they made Anakin? You know?
All right. I will also give it a 9 out of 10 because it deserves an applause. Dave Filoni does it again. I would not have rated the previous seasons this high.
Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah, thanks to the finale and the overall arc that they ended up with, I would give the Rebels as a whole a higher rating because of this one season and this very ending. Because man, it was good. And you're right, man. They tied it up. I will repeat what you said because you summed it up really well. Is they gave you a nice bit of answering some questions while leaving more, and they just did such a good job of fleshing out these characters who, many. I'm gonna go out and speak for people who saw the series. Many thought would be annoying and would not belong in the Star Wars universe. He does such a good job of doing this, and Rebels has endeared itself to me, and I'm looking forward to somehow, hopefully finding out what else happened to Ezra, Sabine, Ahsoka, and so on. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's unanimous. Star Wars Rebels season 4 gets a 9 out of 10 from me and Juancho.
Yep. I don't know what else to say. Like, I really like. One of the things I really like too is just the fact that it was confirmed Rex was an Endor. It just felt really good that bearded guy was actually important. Was actually Rex.
I'm with you. Like, I love that also, and them confirming that yes, Hera was there as well. Like, because people have heard her and seen the ghost in Rogue One, so it's nice to say, okay, yeah, even she makes it all the way to the Battle of Endor. So yes, Rex is my boy. The one flaw I see in all of this, like in Star Wars in general, they made jillions of clones, but by the time A New Hope rolls in, supposedly they're all old. So like, what's up, man? What's up? Like, did we even really need to call them clones if they just recruited?
An enhanced aging feature, right? I mean, or else when they made the clones, they'd still be babies while fighting.
Yeah.
That's specific.
So George, man, that was the only flaw I saw in all of this. Is what? Come on, did we really need clones? If they just recruited by the time A New Hope happened? Come on, man, clear it up. We need some. We need to get that cleared up. All right. Yeah, that's it. Let me lower this. Let me lower the space jazz real quick and play a different space jazz because Juancho. I'm gonna play a little sound clip here. Wait, where is that? I guess this is it. Nope, that's not the one. There it is.
This one.
Time moves quickly.
All right. Time moves quickly, so we need to end the show. So here we go, guys. Stay tuned for the after show because we're going to have like a very short after show where me and Juancho have separation anxiety. But until then, Juancho, man, where can the folks at home find you when you're not on the Quit Stalling Geekcast?
You can find me at my Twitter, which is at Saldana Juancho, or my Instagram, which is you flip it and it's just at Juancho Saldana.
Isn't it Ok Auge Anadulas if you flip it?
Don't try to be smart.
I'm obviously not, so yeah, I'm not even trying.
Where can they find you, Herald?
So awkward. If you guys want to find me outside of the Quit Stalling Geekcast, first things first, tomorrow night, every Wednesday night, I am on Game Bite, the show I host with Diego Z and Mick de Guzman. We have a special guest tomorrow, a very special guest, the Emperor of the Game Developers Association of the Philippines, Alvin Huban, comes on the show to talk about what the GDAP is up to at Comic-Con Asia this weekend, March 24 and 25. At the SMX Convention Center. So check that out. Tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. That's 6:30 a.m. California time. So do the conversions. If you want to find me on social media, I'm at Herald Plays wherever you want to look. You know, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, and others. You know, Twitch.tv/Herald Plays. Follow me because I'm going to be playing some video games. Hopefully tonight. Check that out. What else? Oh, if you want to find more about Quit Stalling, more about me real quick. Mind of a Geek, check out my appearance on Mind of a Geek, twitch.tv/Ink Geek Studios, or go on YouTube and look for Ink Geek Studios. They also have
this
podcasts.
show is just all about you, huh?
Yeah, it's all about me, man.
I mean, you did make the Quit Stalling. You deserve it. You got it.
Yeah, so check that out, guys. We talk about a lot of geeky things like Star Wars. We talked about The Last Jedi. We talked about racial things because I'm Asian. And I guess I'm the first Asian they've ever seen. Huge shout out to Nate and Brandon. They were awesome. It was such a fun show. I can't say that enough because I had so much fun. If you can, check out the YouTube and the Twitch if you have the chance and not just the audio, because they have the pre-show and the post-show, and those were equally as good, if not better. So check those out. If you want to find more about Quit Stalling, all the social media, if you're watching the videos below, and if you're not, let me spell it out for you. Facebook.com/QuitStallingUs, Twitter @QuitStallingUs, Instagram @QuitStalling. We're on YouTube, YouTube.com/QuitStalling, where you can find all our VODs, all our videos. I've started posting the This Week in Quit Stalling there, so if you're not following us anywhere else, you will find out what's going on during the week on YouTube as well, and on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/QuitStalling, where you're probably watching us right now. Tell your friends, tell your family, follow us, cheer us on with some bits, and subscribe to us if you'd like, because every person with Amazon Prime gets one free subscription per month, and we would greatly appreciate if you threw it here our way to help us keep the lights on, and get some DZ emojis if you want. Let me for the people over in the Twitch chat right now, I'm gonna show them what the DZ emojis look like, because they are pretty fun. I'm gonna change the gold one to Super Saiyan DZ this week, I hope. But yeah, guys, and of course we're on every podcatcher out there: iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pocket Casts. If we're not on your podcatcher, let us know and we'll throw it there. Yeah, I think I've plugged everything. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But
you said a lot. I think you got everything.
Hope so. I hope so. Yeah, guys. That's what I forgot. We want to thank all our most recent followers, and of course our subscribers and our bit cheers. So real quick, our most recent followers, Mr. GB. I don't know if I should say that, Mr. Goodbang. Kapitan Kokoy, Dan's Random, Archer Perez, It's_com, Prince Ulrich von Liechtenstein, K3 Grows, I don't want to say that, Gerulf, the guys over at Gameoko, and I am Kokok. Thank you guys for your follows. Of course, our #1 subscriber, InstaDeezy, 2 months in a row. Thank you so much. Our bit cheers are best of all time. We've got I Am Kokak with 10, Clark Q Plays with 20, and Elder Jin with a 500 bits. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it greatly. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And for the lovely Juancho on my left, this has been the Quit Stalling Geekcast, episode 60. We will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.
See ya.
Oh. Geekcast has been brought to you by, well, the people at Quit Stalling Media Network. For more, check us out on all the social media that Herald said earlier. Till then, get off your butts and quit stalling.